For the month of November, I put myself on a little eating plan. Took lots of things out of my diet, and you're going to see about it in a little while. I've just finished the first 7 days. Filmed every day. It is a diary. There's no recipes and there's no inspirational eating. So if by any chance you're switched on for that, you're going to be highly disappointed because it's very repetitive this week. However, stay tuned if you are female. If you're male, you might get something from it, but if you're female, I reckon you're definitely going to get a few things from this, because I talk less about the physical and more about the mental. It interested me how I thought that the video were going to progress. Didn't progress the way I anticipated. However, I think it turned out better because my focus moved away from food and zoomed in on what were going on in my head. There is no weigh-in. I got weighed the day that I started, and I'm not getting weighed till the day that I finish. I know there is this big thing at the minute, get weighed every day and then just take an average. No, I don't want to do anything like that. I just want a start weight and an end weight. So you're going to have to stick with me all the way through November to see if this has worked. And I am already planning what I'm going to be eating going into this coming week. So stick around if you are at all interested. I am sure it is going to be enlightening for both of us. Hello, my name's Joanne. I normally do food shop videos and little bits of entertainment like that from my kitchen, but this month I've decided that I'm going to change my eating plan. I'm going to cut sugar, cutting dairy out. I don't eat much dairy anyway, but that's going out. The grains, they're going out, and fruit. So I'm having a complete reset throughout the month of November, and yesterday was day one. I didn't eat much. It does happen sometimes, you know, when I'm changing the way that I'm eating. I'm also doing the intermittent fasting hours. I'm also knocking watching TV on the head this month. One of the reasons probably why I'm feeling so bloated and crap at the minute is because I've been watching television every night since, I don't know, beginning of September. When you sit down and watch TV, you usually snack. So I feel that the two things both need to go out of my life to make this month successful, and hopefully get 1.5 inch off my waist so my jeans feel a bit less restrictive. I have put about £10 on. In the past year and a half, it's been a gradual process. So yesterday I said on my first food shop video in November that I would track what I was going to eat on this eating plan, and we can both hold me accountable then for my actions. I had planned to give myself 2 days off, so going away, but then last night, in true Joanne style, I booked 5 days in Germany to do some of the Christmas markets. So it'd be interesting how I navigate that. Yesterday, didn't eat much. I made lentil soup and a really big bowl of that for my dinner, which was about 4:30. Couldn't actually finish it, I don't that much. And then earlier I'd had 2 baked sweet potatoes and half a red pepper whilst the sweet potatoes were baking, and that's it. So I am aware that ain't enough food, but as I say, when I'm changing over, sometimes I go like that anyway. I've been hungry since about 11 o'clock last night. It's now 10 a.m. I've left it a long time before I've come downstairs because I know that I'm going to come into this kitchen and I'm going to want to eat, and I need to wait till 11. So I've made myself a cup of Earl Grey tea. I'm also not having oat added in my drinks. That is probably going to be one of the most challenging things, because I do like a brown sugar in Earl tea and I do like a brown sugar in a coffee, and this month I'm not having any. So for my breakfast this morning, well, my first meal, I can't call it a breakfast because breakfasts are normally sort of sweet, well they are for me, hence me 1.5 inch on my waist. So I am actually going to stir fry some green vegetables, yes, because it's all vegetable and potato based. That is what I'm choosing from. The only tweak to the pattern that I'm doing, and it's a pattern that I followed a couple of years ago from a channel called Brocolli Mum. I will link it in the description if you want to go and look at her stuff. She's the hype girl of a potato. I've never seen a potato hype so much. So you can go and check her out if you want to see what the sort of things I'm doing, and I'm just adding lentils and maybe chickpeas in. But other than that, I'm sticking to what she says. It's worked for me before, so hopefully it'll have a positive impact this time. Right, yeah, so let's see how the rest of this week goes, shall we? See if I last. I think if anything, this is going to be a little diary. So, the diary of Joanne trying to lose 1.5 inch off her waist. So it's day 3, and yesterday I still didn't eat as much as what I need to eat, but I did eat more. I had my stir-fried broccoli and green beans and pak choi with garlic and soy sauce, and then a couple of sweet potatoes, some red pepper that I was munching on whilst the sweet potatoes were cooking, and then I had another big bowl of the lentil soup that I made the previous day. That's all gone now. And then in the evening, I treated myself to a hot cacao. So I did almond milk, cacao powder, cinnamon powder, a little splash of vanilla. I should have put a pinch of salt in, but I'm going to do that tonight. And I thought I'd try to see whether it was sweet enough without anything added, and yeah, no. So I put in a tiny drop of maple syrup, and it was only a small amount, and that just elevated the taste. But tonight I'm going to try a pinch of salt as well, because I know that that works in drinks like that. But it was so nice, and I just wanted a filling drink. I think it got to 7:30 at night. I didn't want anything else to eat, but I just wanted a drink to make sure that I weren't going to bed hungry, and I felt like I was treating myself. So this morning I've woken up. I feel no bloating at all, which is probably no surprise because I've not had a high food intake over the past couple of days. I don't feel overly hungry. Like, I'm not trying to eat Darren's arm in bed like I were the previous night. And it's interesting because it's already shifted to a mental thing and not a physical thing. And this is the thing with me. When I start changing my eating plan or any exercise thing, lifestyle thing, it's always got to be a mindset. I have to have the mindset change or it won't happen. So yesterday I spent a lot of time, I was talking to a friend actually about sugar and why we like it so much, because I can leave cakes, I can leave biscuits, I can leave desserts, but I like chocolate. And I can leave all the regular chocolate bars. I like the bougie chocolate. And I hope at some point I'll start learning moderation. That is my next step, you see, because I don't want to stop eating bougie chocolate. Obviously, bougie chocolate is expensive, so I'm not going to eat it all the time. So I think, whilst I weren't going to call this a journey, I feel that it is a journey, but it's a journey of the mind and not necessarily of the physical. So I'm having a cup of Earl Grey tea this morning, still no sweetener. I don't normally have a brown sugar in this. Earl Grey tea, no milk, brown sugar. I can't be this time. I'm going to do my green vegetables again. I do like stir-fried green vegetables with garlic, love garlic. So I'm going to have that for my first meal. I'm going to make a batch of carrot and cumin soup. I'm going to make some sort of squashed roast potatoes to dip in that. Sounds nice. And then tonight I'm making the kids cottage pie and my daughter a lentil cottage pie. So I think I'm going to have that with some carrots. And then if I am still hungry, I'm going to have my cacao drink. I've also put an order in with Ocado to get some extra bits, and that is coming tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's what's happening today. I decided to have a fizzy drink with my vegetables.
It was one of these. It has got some form of sugar in it. It's from fruit, but it's still sugar. I think it's 10 grams from the fruit that's in it, or the fruit juice that's in it. And almost straight away, my brain were like, what else can you get? And it took me back to, you know, like if you were at school and one of your mates could get some alcohol from the parents' drinks cabinet and you'd be going, what else can you get? What else can you get? It were really strange, like a little troll in my brain going, what else? And I thought, I'd have been hunting now. I'd have been thinking, oh, I'll have a biscuit or I'll have a coffee, you know, with sugar in it, because it set my brain off. So it did take me about an hour and a half for the troll to get the message and go off. And then within that hour and a half, I were already hungry. So I decided, because I hadn't got any sweet potatoes, I was going to have sweet potatoes every day as a snack. I decided to do slices of butternut squash with a small amount of pecans chopped up, and a peanut butter drizzle, tiny amount of peanut butter, just with water added, some sea salt on it. And I thought I'd have that as a snack, but it's taken me nearly an hour to do it. So now it's 5 to 1 and I'm going to be in that situation, because we have dinner at 6:30. I'm going to be in that situation again, aren't I, where I'm not going to eat as much as what I probably should do, because this would have been a snack if I'd have done it earlier. So I don't think I'm going to be making the soup, but I don't know. I do know that if you're going to do something like this, you need to be busy. I've been painting, but yeah, I'm hungry. Anyway, I'm going to see what this is like, because I haven't ever done pecans and peanut butter drizzle on butternut squash. This has been in the fridge for quite a while, so I thought, well, I might as well use it. And again, I'm trying to do all whole foods. So I suppose we'll see what it's like. It's hot. You can see steam coming off it. It's nice. It's no to write home about. I suppose I could put a bit of chili flakes on it, actually, to give it a bit of a kick. It's actually really nice. And with that little bit of fat added, so I've not had any fat for 3 days, it is satisfying. So I think I need to add in a little amount of fat. I ended up making the soup after all, because one of the kids didn't want cottage pie, so I did them with spaghetti bolognese. And I did carrot and cumin soup, and I didn't have any baby potatoes, but I wanted to do the sort of smashed roast potatoes. Have you seen them, where you boil a potato and then you push it down a bit so it flattens? I didn't have any baby potatoes, so I used normal potatoes and sliced them up. They aren't going to win any awards, but I put some garlic on and I brushed them with a little olive oil, and that were nice and filling. And then I changed my evening drink. I had golden milk instead. For the past 2 nights, I have slept far better than I have done for the past couple of months, because I haven't been really fidgety. But I don't know whether that's anything to do with not having the food that I've been eating recently, or whether it's to do with hormones, because you never know, do you? You know, when you get to this stage in life, you never know what's hormones, what's lifestyle. I had a food delivery this morning, so I've got loads of broccoli, loads of sweet potatoes, so I am set for the next few days with those, because there's quite a lot in each bag. Got some avocados, because I'm going to start bringing in some healthy fats in the morning. And I got some bone broth. First time ever I've bought bone broth, but I was just thinking of what different sort of nutrients I can start putting in while I'm giving my digestive system a rest. That's what I feel like I'm doing by not having lots of different kinds of food, sticking to the same stuff. And I thought, what other good stuff can I fetch into my diet? And I thought bone broth, like basically a gravy. I don't know how I feel about that, because I was a vegetarian for 5 years, and whilst I do eat meat now, I always go for the veggie stuff. So it's an interesting one. So we're now on day 5. Yesterday were really interesting. So I started my breakfast off with red cabbage and the broccoli. And within about an hour I felt really sick, but I'd already put sweet potatoes in because I was wanting to be prepared. I wanted to eat more. So I didn't eat sweet potatoes, they're in the fridge, and I didn't actually eat anything else till 4:30. Crazy. And I had some of the carrot and cumin soup. The one thing that I was noticing yesterday is I was just missing drinks. Because primarily I've been drinking water with the cacao at night, and I'm just bored of it. And this is somebody who loves water, but not having the freedom to be able to drink something else, like add a bit of Vimto into it, or have a random can of pop or a coffee with brown sugar in it. That were affecting me more than anything else. So I did have a coffee yesterday, and I've had one this morning as well. Did a little bit of a latte. I used almond milk, coffee pod, and I put some of this Sweet Freedom caramel syrup in it. I used to use it a lot when I was doing sort of like the anti-inflammatory, very low sugar, and I just found it in cupboard. It's made with carob and apple natural flavourings and colouring, but as you can see, I've already got any left. This literally was just laid in the back of the cupboard, and I just thought, you know what, I'm using it because it's that or just be miserable. I thought I would be craving chocolate by now, and I haven't. So this morning, woke up, didn't feel hungry. I was quite all right to wait until about 10 to 11 before I started eating. But did I want broccoli again? Did I bugger it? No, I didn't. And the thought of just having stir-fried broccoli and green beans made me just think I don't want oat to eat. So I went one step further and had something completely random. I had a couple of raw carrots, some beetroot, which I know has got a bit of sugar and sweetener in even, but I just gave that a pass. Some of the pickled cucumber that I made the previous day. It's like a Korean cucumber. It's nice, got a bit of a zing to it. And I had half an avocado. I have also noticed that I need sweet stuff, salty stuff, sour stuff, spicy stuff. I need my taste buds to be activated in order for me to feel sort of, I don't know, like I've got an interest in life. Because I am busy, so I'm not focusing on food. I think that is the key, especially if you're going to change what you eat quite drastically, shock your body. You need to be focusing on other things. But I went to TK Maxx, picked up some sweet stuff for Christmas and December, weren't tempted, didn't feel depressed because I couldn't have any then. But I do know already that in December I am going to have some nice things throughout the month because I want to start learning moderation. So I don't get into this situation again where I feel like I've got to shock my body. I want the moderation in my life. I've learnt so much this past week and also documenting it. So if you're fancying sort of changing your diet up a lot, I would say maybe document it, even if it's just for your own benefit, because you're thinking about it, because you're thinking about what you want to say to somebody. You analyse it a little bit more, and it's quite helpful. Anyway, food-wise today, I'm doing a roast chicken for the kids, so I haven't hardly had any protein this week, so I am going to have some roast chicken. I'm not sure what I'm going to have it with, and then I will possibly have the rest of my soup, and hopefully I will be hungry enough for some of the squashed potatoes again. But this is the thing, my hunger has subsided dramatically. I think my stomach's depressed. So I'm nearing the end of week 1, day 6 now, aren't we? I'm surprised that I've not lost count and messed my days up, but here we are, we're still going. Yesterday I felt a little bit sick and off it. I think it's been probably a couple of days that I've been like that. So I had a good read, and I think it might just be because my digestion obviously has changed because I've drastically changed what I've been eating and the amount. So I think that maybe, you know, like your different stomach acids and that, and I don't know, the whole stomach will have been affected, won't it? Because I've changed what I've ate. I've not just slid into it, I've literally catapulted myself into this, what would have probably been termed as a crash diet back in 80s and 90s.
I've got to stress though that this is literally just week 1. I needed to tell myself, seriously, we are going to change. Everybody's different. But I knew that I needed to do that, and actually I'm right grateful for the experience that I've given myself, because I've learned so much about my own eating habits through talking to people about their own eating habits, through throwing different ideas around, and really being able to listen in to my own body and recognise patterns. You can't pay money for that kind of experience. So extreme, yes, but beneficial, very much so. Although I think I fell out of broccoli and sweet potatoes. To say that I bought that many, it's a good job that other people like them in this house, because I feel like I don't want to see either again. Yesterday, what did I have for my breakfast yesterday? Oh yeah, did I have that snacking plate? I did. And then I had the rest of my carrot and cumin soup on its own, and then I had some chicken. I didn't have a lot, but I did have a little bit, and I had cranberry sauce. Oh my lord, my taste buds were singing jingle bells. They bloody loved it. So that were a right treat to the old taste buds. And then what else did I have? Well, I've had my cacao at night, but this morning I've been up since 5:15, stayed upstairs for ages. My eating window's changed slightly because I think I stopped eating at about 5:30 last night. And I've been laid in bed for ages thinking, what could I possibly have for breakfast? I'm more focusing on next week, because next week's got to change again, because I'm out a lot. This week I've been in the house all the time because I've been doing loads of decorating. Next week I am out a lot. I might have to eat on the go. So I'm thinking ahead of that, but I just could not. As I say, I fell out of broccoli and sweet potatoes. I am a sweet person in the morning, not savoury. So I've made myself some protein powder up. It's got cacao in it, as you can see. Pea protein, hemp, flax seeds. I think that might be in. I made it up about a week ago before I even knew that I was doing this. I think that possibly might be the only stuff in it. Yeah, because I don't like buying the sort of ones online, because they all seem to have sweeteners in it, and I am not a fan of the taste of sweetener. So pea protein, hemp, flaxseed, cacao, pretty certain that is it. And then I've added to it a drop of vanilla, a drop of maple syrup, because you're going to have sweetener in that, otherwise it's going to be savoury still in it, some cinnamon, and a little bit of extra cacao, because I realised that I'm not putting enough in this. And I think it's all right. I haven't added salt. Maybe I should add salt. And as protein powders go, it's all right. It's not the best. But yeah, I've still got that artificial taste on my tongue from it. Today, I'm having this for my breakfast. And then I'm going to make a lentil soup again, and a tomato and roasted red pepper soup. And I'm going to eat those throughout the day. And then in the evening, I think I'm going to have a turmeric latte this time round. So I'll be having cacao in the morning. But I have been doing just loads of research about what I can eat next week, and I'm right looking forward to it. So we made it to day 7. Are you as surprised as I am? No, I knew I'd do it because I was determined. I'm having another one of those homemade protein shakes for my breakfast again. I honestly think that might be a game changer for me, because they've got that hint of sweetness and the filling. So maybe I should do some more research into the ones that you can buy online. But as I say, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because they use sweetener and I don't like the taste, whereas just putting a bit of maple syrup in, it works for me. So maybe I should just stick to making my own. Having an interesting conversation yesterday with a friend, and again we were talking about eating habits, where they come from, the psychology of it. And I've got to say, I think a lot of it must come, It's got to come from upbringing. Do you agree, disagree? I think back to when I was younger and my mum was on a permanent diet. She still does now. She self-criticises consistently. And she was always on a diet, black coffee diet, Ravita cracker diet, cabbage diet, any other crash diet that she could get her hands on, because her mentality is and was, the less food you eat, the more you are going to lose weight, which I suppose it's all been debunked now, hasn't it, that? So whilst this might have looked extreme to some people, I think I've spent enough time explaining why I did it, and it has been a really good thing for my mind. But yeah, so that's how she were. So that was what she was mirroring. But then she was a feeder as well. And I can remember being in senior school, and every night my brother and me would come home, and she'd buy a packet of Kit Kats or a packet of Penguins or whatever, and a 6-pack of crisps, and we would be able to eat half each. And that's what we did. When we came home from school, we used to have half a pack of Kit Kats and half a packet of 3 packs of crisps before dinner. She never said anything. I would not be impressed if one of my kids went and ate 3 packets of crisps. We don't have it in house. So it were mixed messages, weren't it, throughout my childhood, really. And I know we can't blame his childhood because we're all grown adults. But when you're open to things like that consistently, you just sort of take on that's the norm. Anyway, that's another thing that I've been thinking this week. So I think we can all agree that it's been a mental week, a week of learning, which I've embraced. But food-wise today, I've still got some lentil soup left, so I'm going to have that for my lunch. I've got the shake from breakfast. Then it's Sunday, so I'm going to do a Sunday lunch. I'm going to do a beef Sunday lunch, and I will have that. So I will have roast potatoes. Oh, with my lentil soup last night, I just realised I can have chips. So I made some potato wedges and had salt and vinegar on them. Oh my God, my taste buds were in heaven. Never mind singing jingle bells. They had elevated. They were on rock and roll. So back to the beef. I'm going to have beef, roast potatoes and vegetables. And we will see what next week brings.